Thank you all for coming today. We really appreciate having you. Is Joel and Tanya in the room? There they are. Come on up. While they're coming up, Joel and Tanya are getting ready to start something special. They're wanting to help you connect with your spouse in a really real and new way. And
what kind of way?
Will you tell us a little bit more?
Joel and I are leading another small group, a Bible study in marriage. This time around it's on building teamwork. We'll be talking about mutual dependability, our differences, and trust. It's 6 weeks long. It'll be in our home, and we'll meet on Tuesday, beginning February 1st. There is an announcement in the bulletin too for more information. And we had a great time last time. Mark's going to come up and share a few things.
I would challenge anybody here that's married to attend this class at Joel and Tanya's house. We had a really great time. Just a room full of couples. Some had been married 40 years. Some had been married 3 months. And it was really great to find new ways to not only connect with each of our spouses, but to connect with other couples and find out that we weren't really as weird as we thought, that other people have the same problems and the Lord has the answers to the problems of our marriage.
What do you think about the self-ology game?
That was hilarious. I had never heard of spouseology before, but it's really fun, kind of crazy.
That game is kind of like a newlywed game. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, if you have any questions, talk to Joel or myself. If you can sign up before the 23rd, if you're interested, let us know. And then my number's also in the bulletin. You can call me to sign up. Thanks.
And the 23rd is next weekend, and the space is limited, so you really want to not wait until the 23rd to talk to them if you want to get involved with that. You should probably call this afternoon instead of waiting until next Sunday. Earlier is better because there's space now. And that brings me to next weekend. And next weekend, for all of you who are here, you're invited up to McCall, where we connect with each other in a different way and kind of a little bit more of a small group nature environment. We're going up at Camp Haven, and many of you have been there. Many of you may not have been there, but it's just a summer camp that we have over a weekend, and we go there to connect with each other and connect to God in His nature. And if you're interested in going to that, there's a cost. Ed has all the details. Ed, raise your hand for a moment there. He's the person to talk to if you have more details. But if you were interested in going, there are sheets on your table, and they currently have the people who have already said that they would go. And if for some reason your information is not correct on it, please correct the information. And if for some reason you're not listed and you want to go, definitely put your name down there, and that will get you signed up. And the reason why we do this is so that you will have a bed to sleep in, and food to eat. So really, if you're interested in either of those things when you're up there, you should probably put your name down on the sheet of paper so we know you're coming. And yes, and just to clarify, there's not going to be any services here that weekend.
That's next weekend. So
And that's next weekend, so 7 days from now. And that brings me to tonight. Tonight is a special evening in that we're having a member attender meeting. This is for anybody who's here today or who even thinks of the experience as home or wants to think of the experience as home, or even is kind of curious about what the experience is. Tonight is the night to come to ask questions, find out more. We are going to be going into some of our goals and plans for the upcoming year, some of the financial situation that we're in. And just a quick, somewhat side note tangent on the finances. We do tithes and offerings just a little bit different than most Christian churches do. And I would encourage you to take just for a moment, take a tithe envelope out of the basket and take a quick look at it.
Okay, I guess he wants us to.
Yes, that's Claude's saying, do it. Look at it, there's a spot on there that says tithe, and there's a spot on there that says experience offering. The tithe, which most Christian churches kind of keep in-house to do their ministries with, we have the focus of really connecting with the community and doing evangelism, and that's what tithe is for. Whereas offerings, on the other hand, are what we keep in-house and what we use to run our ministries. And so, while we say definitely give the 10% of tithe because we want to help, we want to connect with the community, we want to connect with the valley, we want to connect with the country and world abroad, we also want to say that the offerings are what we use for ministry here, and the offerings is what pay our bills here. And so, if God leads you to give, just if He's leading you to give to this particular organization, offerings, if He's leading you to give to the world at large, tithe is the place to be, just as way of part of clarification. Yes, Anthony?
Can you explain exactly where the tithe goes? Where does it go?
The tithe,
You don't just say all the places, but
the tithe is at one point in time I saw a little breakdown of where every dollar went, and it was really pretty amazing. There's a network of hospitals, a network of Christian education that it goes to. It does go to pay our pastor's salary. That's one thing that the tithe does go for. It actually does stay here. But the tithe, most of the tithe actually goes to do evangelistic work within the valley and within Idaho. The Idaho Conference is the
Missionaries for the world, too.
unit that we're in, and there is parts of it that trickle even beyond that. But I would say, in my understanding, the majority of tithe goes to local ministries and connecting the community in the valley to churches, and which ultimately connects them to Christ.
Amen.
okay, and so then the offering,
And the offering goes to the ministry specifically here. Like, the offering is what goes to pay our rent, the offering is what goes to pay for children's ministries, the offering is what goes into basically all of the stuff that you see up here and what makes this place great. Is that?
yeah.
Excellent. And so if you are interested in any of the financial details or basically any of our real big plans and big goals for this coming year, tonight is the place where you can come and get all of your questions answered and just interact with us in kind of a little bit less like formal, like it's not church, but you're able to talk all about church environment. And one last thing as we get ready to go out and eat potatoes, because that's what's for lunch today. Cindy heads up and kind of is one of the people who's in charge of a database that we kind of keep of people who've attended here called the CCB. And if you don't know what the CCB is and you're kind of curious about what it is, maybe you've gotten some emails that you're like, huh, what's this weird CCB thing? Cindy is the person to talk to. Cindy, would you raise your hand for a moment? She can give you all sorts of different really cool information about how to utilize the system to the fullest and to really basically connect with each other in a kind of a strange online cool sort of way that we are trying to kind of interact with online. So Cindy's the person to talk to about that. If you have any questions or are kind of confused, maybe you lost your password at one point like 6 months down like ago, yeah. At any rate, yeah. So stay for lunch, come tonight, see you up in McCall next weekend. There's just so much stuff happening, it's amazing. So, have a great week and see you up there next